you're probably going to end up figuring out what it feels like to have blisters from operating a hoe. It's part of it, but once you get used to it, you won't have blisters anymore. And it only takes about one summer, one growing season. I got apples, apple, pear, peach, trees, walnut trees in the yard, and I've been trimming them. First time they've been trimmed in 15 years probably. We took a truckload of trimmings just off of one little grape arbor. Now by truckload, I'm talking about stacked up, stick 2x4 down in the side so you can hold it all in one spot. I'm talking about a truckload almost as big as a truck. This is a pickup truck, yeah, but it's, a huge load. That thing had never been trimmed as far as I could tell. So now all of a sudden it's going, wow, I got a haircut. Wow, does that feel good? It's got bigger leaves already than it did all last summer. So, learning how to do this, it's not as such easy, and it won't be anymore. A lot of the convenience things that people are used to are not going to be readily available. I want everybody to understand that. It's going to be more of a regression or a turning back in time to an extent. Now, that don't mean you're going to live in a log cabin with dirt floors and a fireplace. You can if you want to, but you don't have to live like that. As a matter of fact, the idea of the collateral accounts is to allow people to have at least to have a floor and put a decent hearth in the fireplace, maybe even a cook stove in, depending on what they're up to. Some people find that a root cellar does just fine. It keeps things cool and preserves things for a long time. If you can something correctly, it can last for 5 to 10 years, and you won't have any problem with it. It depends on what you know how to do. And learning this stuff is fairly easy. You can go online, most people, and find out everything you need to know. How to prep the ground, how to can the thing, what you got to do to it to can it, what you have to do to it if you want to preserve can it, and there is a way to do that. That's a little different than just straight canning. Straight canning is on average good for 2 to 4 years. Preservation canning can go up to 10, 15, 20 years and still just be as good as the day you put it in there. So if you learn how to do this, it takes a little bit of work, but I'll tell you what, fresh peaches, and they still taste fresh tasting peaches in the middle of the winter. There's the basis of it is this. You talk to people, you run across people you don't even think about a lot. Could be somebody, a clerk somewhere. It could be somebody that bags your groceries or rings you up, or that you just happen to meet going past every day. Say hello. Start getting to know everybody. You're going to need these people.
Well, Dave, Drake, what about, I've seen in the chat room a lot of people talking about how they grow their own gardens and so on. How much of what they grow do they take to the elderly lady or gentleman down the road, or the person that is disabled that lives down the road? How much do they actually take to that person just to say, here, I'm here and I'm doing this out of a kindness? That's just a question I've been wondering, because I see people say, well, when the time comes, I'll be ready. But what are you doing now? Are you doing this? Are you, picking a few extra tomatoes and taking them to that person down the road that can't or is probably on a very limited income, I wonder, because I see so many, when the time comes. Well, the time is now, guys. The time is now.
Well, there's another part to that, too. We drop off groceries to a couple of different places. People have told these people they don't have nothing to eat, and so they make sure that they do. They take a few canned goods out of their own pocket. They take a few canned goods and that sort of thing, and help them out some. Well, now we got several people that are dropping food off to these different individuals that make sure that these people get the food. They even cook for them sometimes, because some of them are not real capable of doing that. you know, and that, you know, if you're not taking a drag directly to somebody, there's somebody who knows somebody, almost always in every neighborhood. And if you do, you know, it's like everybody teams up and takes care of the granny who can't paint her house.
Mm-hmm.
That same idea. And it's just that simple. Now, the problem we got is we lost part of a generation to that convenience. The second part of it was that the convenience was used against us so that we could work more, making more money for the bankers. The third part, this is the fun part, they decided to plug everybody in. This is called Internet. And in the process of plugging everybody in, the little side parts of that, such as texting and Twittering and that sort of thing, became absolutely important to the very existence of most people in terms of our coming generation. The kids and the teenagers are busy electronically plugged in at some point or in some fashion or another. And to be quite honest, my kids got a hard way to go. I wasn't nice. I would actually tell them it's time to go outside. You ate? You got your room clean? Yeah. What are you going to do? I'm going to watch TV all day. I said, no, you're not. What do you mean? I said, come here. I need to show you something on the front porch. I get them out on the front porch. I'd close and lock the door. I said, you go find something to do. Oh, they'd be off and playing eventually. It didn't take very long. They didn't want to stay home. They want to go play with their friends. The same thing's true of adults. They say that we're just big kids. And when you get to a certain age and you got gray hair, you can get away with a lot of things and have a lot of fun with it. But irrespective as to your age, from whenever until whenever, find somebody to play with. It might be cards, but it might be helping in the garden. It could be anything. But it's something to do. You get to know people. Do you know how to do this? I sure would like to know how to do this. No, I know a guy at work does. I mean, you care if I invite him over? No. And you get your computer going through for free by an information technology expert. And he fixes everything that's wrong with it, no problem. Here's what you need to do to keep it running right. Or the mechanic that, you know, is an expert at cars, trucks. It goes on and on. You don't know who's who, necessarily, especially if you don't know your neighbors. So, you know, it could be that you need an electrician. It could be that you need somebody that knows how to reload ammunition. There's tons of things available. I'm a fairly decent carpenter and woodworker. I know how. My physical inabilities have shown up to an extent, but I'm getting healthier. Not worse, I'm getting healthier as it goes along, and hopefully it'll continue that way. But, you know, what do you know how to do that will benefit somebody, even if you just sit there and talk to them?
You can learn so much by visiting that retired veteran that's sitting on his front porch now, or, you know, grandma down the road that, you know, can't get out very much. You know, you can learn so much from them. One of the things I used to love doing when I was a child, and I learned so much, and not even really so much as a child, but even as a teenager. My grandmother belonged to a senior club that just happened to meet across the street from the high school I attended. And they'd always have a luncheon, and it just happened to be their luncheon was at the same time that our lunch was. So I'd go over across the street and sit with my grandma and her friends and just listen to the stories that the people would be talking about and sharing with each other. And I learned so much that has really helped and benefited me to this day. So, I mean, our older people they are a fountain of information. And the knowledge that a lot brings forward is very valuable. So maybe that would be something that people could think about. Dave, we are just about the top of the hour, or we are at the top of the hour. Do we want to take another break? Dave?
I'm sorry, Deatra, I had my mic muted.
Ah.
Now, I want to say this to one thing. All the links to Bill's videos will be posted as a link on my main page later on. And the next person that posts a link in this room doing this interview, I'm going to boot you. I am sick and tired of people coming in here trying to be helpful, not thinking about what they're doing. You're causing an interruption. The information that Drake is putting out is far too important to be looking at other links. Yes, Sarah, it is crazy. We're making the links... Gee, why did one of Deatra's admins call Drake a snake oil salesman? I don't know. And what's
and that's
more...
already been addressed and being looked into, and they know it, Dave. They're just looking to cause more uproar here. It was posted last night that everything is being looked into. I can't be in 200 places at once.
And I thought you could just do that easily, Deatra.
Oh, everybody seems to think that Drake and I are going to cure the world.
Can I say this?
At the snap of our fingers.
Well, I need to go out and find me a big old ugly stick and get a white sheet and wrap it around me. Start walking down the road in my sandals saying, "Follow me."
Do you have a long beard?
Yes, I do.
Then you can do it. Anon 9277, if you post a question, you're gone. We will tell you when you can post questions. No.
I'll make a suggestion. Everybody who's been kind of listening to this and paying attention to it in the chat rooms and whatnot, think about a question of, would this be a good way to accomplish this? Think about that. I'll give you some homework if you can't think for yourself. And by the way, I've had some snake oil that was pretty good, so everybody can chew on that for a while too. I'm done.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. And I'm going to say this one more time. People are asking questions here in the chat room that have been answered many times. They're in the FAQ section of the link on my main page. We're in the process right now of posting one link where you can find all of Bill Wood's videos. Now, I know you can, Susie. That's why I'm talking. I'm going out here. I don't know why you can't hear me.
Yeah, I'm getting same messages in Skype that were very hard to hear.
That's interesting.
Well, then turn up their volume because we're going out here at an appropriate level.
Oh, I can test the system. I can make all the feedback you want. I'm serious. I'll just warn you before I do that because, people like to take their headset off.
All right. And sometime maybe at the half-hour mark, I'd like to read a little bit of that email I got that confirms things you're saying, Drake.
That's fine with me.
Or we can do it now, Dave, because, we have all stated that we will open for questions.
That'll be fun.
But if I hear one question that is a duplicate, I am
Don't worry about it.
upset.
All you got to do is say, go to Freedom Range and turn them off.
Mm-hmm.
People want to have everything done for them. Then they need to go see the government. They must like it that way.
Mm.
And that's the way I feel about it.